Here we go. We are, and just like that, we are live. We're going to have the most productive conversation that we're probably going to have all day long, and it's going to happen right frickin' now. Heather Slayton with us this time around on the Aired Out podcast, live from the ASB Financial Studios and Fly on the Wall Productions. Some folks, not many, but some are probably asking this morning, who the hell is Heather Slayton? Tell us, who is Heather Slayton? You are a, first off, before anything else, super mom, right?
Well, I am a mom.
Oh, no, you're not just a mom. You're one of those whack job moms who's just half crazy and running around doing way too many things and... whack job mom.
That is all true, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I know that.
I don't know that I'd call myself a super mom, but I am definitely all the things you just said.
Yeah. You got a lot happening.
I do. Yeah, we have a lot going on in our house.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do.
And thank God we have a super dad in that house, too.
Yes.
Jason is very busy guy and very supportive. And
He seems like he's got a...
I get away with a lot.
I'm sure you do. Jason seems like the kind of guy that needs to get up and start the day by really buckling up.
And drinks a lot more coffee than I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many cups have you had?
I've had just one today.
Okay.
Yeah. He's had a couple more than that probably.
I normally don't. We have a lot to talk about. Of course.
I have several pages to talk about.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I normally don't talk about my health stuff. Actually, I never talk about my health stuff. Ever. Like, ever. I'll get a headache and I don't know. Yesterday, however, I had to run to the doctor, and the only time they could see me was at 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and if I said no, then they weren't going to be able to see me for like 6 years.
Yeah, probably.
So I had to take it, and it was I went to basically like a dermatologist, allergist, because out of nowhere, mysteriously, I've been breaking out in hives, and they're pointing the finger 100% at my COVID booster.
It's not the sack sock?
It's not the sack sock.
Okay. That's a relief.
You know, I thought that it was. Wow. Oh my God.
In case Sherilyn wondered what that really was.
Oh my God. No, but it's like, you know, I said yesterday, you know what, I'm going to mention this on the air because I'm sure that there are many people that can relate. As a matter of fact, the dermatologist was like, yeah, she's like, you would not believe how many people we have seen.
Wow.
That have, just like you, who have never been allergic to anything.
Right.
Foods, clothing, environment, nothing, ever, nothing. And all of a sudden, they're breaking out in hives, and all the hives started right after the COVID booster.
Wow.
So that's what's going on. So if you see me on the air going, oh, well, let's see, let's talk about the weather. That's probably what it is. I don't know.
Not cooties. That's good to know.
It's not cooties. I know you were thinking that it was, but I don't know. Have you ever had a hive breakout? I mean, it's like
I have, but prior to that too. So I get stress hives.
Oh, stress hives.
Yeah. So that's fun.
I'm not surprised that you've had stress hives. But I'll tell you, it literally will drive you mad.
Yes.
Like, it'll drive you crazy.
Yes. Was a time in my life where even thinking about sitting to do something like this would have covered my entire body in stress hives.
Really?
And then I would not have been able to actually come do this.
Oh my God.
I would have mentally just shut down. So.
Like,
thanks for bringing me out of my comfort zone.
Like face and everything?
Oh, yeah, everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now that we've got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's also say, in addition to being an incredible mom, first and foremost, above all things. You are a big dog and a very, very active employee at Washington County Mental Health Services, which is one of our presenting sponsors. And you embrace your career and your responsibilities there so much, so intensely. You take it all. It's who you are. It's who Heather Slayton is. What you do is who you are, and you absolutely love it.
I do. I don't know that I'd call myself a big dog, more like a pound puppy. But I have worked for the agency for 21 years.
Yeah.
In several divisions and in several departments within those divisions. And I have done a lot of jobs there. And there are a lot of things that you absorb working there for 21 years. And I love working for Washington County Mental Health. And we do great work across the agency. And I want people who need people doing that work for them to know about it. And I want people to come work for us to keep doing that work for more people.
Sure.
And I want people to know what's available. So, yeah, it needs to be out there. People need to know about the work that we're doing. People need to know what's available for them.
The services alone are so massive, and the umbrella is gargantuan.
It is.
We're talking about thousands of Vermonters every year. It's like 5,000 Vermonters.
It's almost 5,000 in the past fiscal year, yes.
That in some way have benefited from something at Washington County Mental Health.
Right. That's just the number that we've served,
right.
Not including the number of people that have been impacted by those services. Families, friends.
Yeah, exactly. It's so residual. I mean, it goes
the ripples are just infinite.
Huge.
Yes.
You know, some people, I think in our community, have kind of wondered, where is the Washington County Mental Health building?
Everywhere in Washington County, in Washington County.
I know.
Yeah. We've got our
thing.
Administrative building. We've got a main building for our adult mental health services. We've got a main building for our children's services, a main building for our DS services.
Sure.
There's a main building for our ICS services. Like every division has a main building. We've got several residentials. We've got outpatient services. We've got a building for everything.
Oh my God!
Each of those buildings has offshoot buildings, crisis services. You know, there is a building to avoid hospitalization. There's a building for everything. We've got a public inebriate building. That program takes people often from hospitals or from emergency service personnel to avoid hospitalization or even jail.
Yeah, preventative.
Yeah, to help you sober up, and then maybe find services to help you avoid landing back in that situation again.
Sure.
So there are several buildings. Several buildings.
And you say sober up, but it's also, obviously, drug and alcohol consumption are usually pretty hand in hand with mental health, but not always.
Not always.
And sometimes it's, and more often, I think, than ever, mental health issues and a mental health crisis is something that has been festering and building for quite a while for many reasons. Mm-hmm. One of which is the stigma that goes with mental health. I'm depressed. Well, you don't have any reason to be depressed. You got everything going on in your life. Or whatever it may be, there's stigma that's attached to it.
Right, and a lot of it is because people don't understand it.
That's right.
And people aren't talking about it because it's uncomfortable, or you think people aren't going to understand. Yeah.
Right.
And then somebody might end up self-medicating.
Sure. And then throw in stuff that there's so many diagnoses here. I mean, the bipolar is something that we're hearing a lot more these days, it seems.
Right.
Adult attention deficit disorder, something also that we're seeing more of and hearing more about. Look at what COVID has done over the last couple of years to people.
Right, because even if you haven't if you haven't come in contact with anybody, if you haven't had it yourself, just the isolation of it.
Yes.
And wondering how to care for your kiddos who are stuck at home and how to make sure they're educated and they haven't been left behind by their lack of education. And
exactly.
It's a lot of pressure and just what that's done to people. Yeah.
Folks that already had some issues pre-COVID and then COVID just threw gas on the fire.
Yeah.
And then folks that didn't have any mental health issues pre-COVID, but COVID sparked this.
Right.
You guys have, I'm sure, just an overwhelming number of not only adults but also kids that have been, everyone's been affected by this, all walks of life. I don't care who the hell you are.
Yeah, there's no limit.
No.
There's no limit. There's no, you don't have to be in any special, there's nothing.
Right.
Your age,
demographic.
there's no demographic. It doesn't matter how much money you do or do not make. It doesn't matter your racial background. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
At all. Everybody can be affected, and everybody is.
You just, and I know that you've got all of these links and everything, but you
so many pages.
Let's start where you want to start, because I know that you've been doing a lot of writing lately and hair pulling.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, about VT Digger.
Well, so I've got a list, and my brain has been lots of fluff lately, and so if I don't stay on track, we might miss something, and I don't want to.
You stay.
So if you don't mind,
you're driving. Do you want my readers?
No, I have very strong prescriptions, so I'm going to stick to those.
Got it.
You don't mind?
Got it.
So yeah, we have been working very hard at Washington County to serve our community in these very stressful times, and now we feel like we're starting to come out. Mm-hmm. We're hopefully at the end of most of this, but people are still very stressed.
Sure.
Some are still looking for jobs, and there are a lot of jobs out there. Mm-hmm. What is not always true is that those jobs are in line with what people are trained for, used to doing.
Sure.
Going to pay the bills the way that their previous jobs did.
Right.
That's still a huge stressor. And so, we recognize that, obviously. But what we are able to do for folks is to make options available. Despite the staffing climate and despite the fact that not all of our gaps have been filled, our employment gaps, we are hiring like crazy. Our orientations have been full every week, so we are filling open spots like crazy. So that's awesome. But in the meantime, when you call and you're looking for maybe a one-on-one counselor or something, whether you're calling for children or as an adult, we have lots of groups, some that were already there, some that have been newly created. So you might find yourself with maybe like a week-long wait list, depending on what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. It could be a short wait list. There could be no wait list. It could be a month-long wait list.
Okay.
But we generally have groups that you could choose to join while you wait. And so you're going to have something to do, some way to engage with us while you wait for that one-on-one opening. There's something going on somewhere. So there's contact. There is a way to engage. So that's great. As far as our hiring, we're going to job fairs, we've got print ads, we've got TV and radio ads. We're getting the word out. Lots of word of mouth hiring going on. We do offer our staff referral bonuses. So if you're hearing a staff member say, hey, come work for us, we're doing everything we can to encourage hiring. And so if people who already work for us are saying, hey, come work for us, I'll give you a reference and a referral. Make sure you're writing that person down for both.
Yeah. I
maybe they'll take you to lunch with their referral bonus.
I recommended yesterday to a friend.
That's
to get
awesome.
In touch. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's a great place to work. And, we're a nonprofit and we are funded in various ways that we do our best. People are paid as well as they can be through a nonprofit that is funded through largely Medicaid. And when you really break that down and consider what our benefits are worth and add that to what you see as your hourly pay, you're being paid a lot better than you think. And
Sure.
a lot of people don't really do that breakdown.
Yes.
But thanks to Julie Tesler, who is the executive director of Vermont Care Partners, advocating on our behalf with the Vermont legislature,
Yeah.
we last year we did get an 8% increase to improve our wages, and so now we were able to improve our pay to more closely reflect market rate value. So everybody got a nice increase, and so we are definitely more on par
I hope
with market rate.
Julie conveyed effectively how many Vermonters rely on Washington County mental health
Oh, she clearly did.
daily.
It was, yes, it was, she was very effective.
Good.
So we
That's what
really
we want.
appreciate her and the legislature for recognizing that. And so,
Fantastic.
so we're even more competitive now, and so we really appreciate that. So
Good.
if you've applied in the past and thought, oof, yeah, I can't do that, maybe you can. So rethink us.
What's the website?
Our website?
Yes.
So you want to go to www.wcmhs.org
Yep.
and go to our careers page.
That's where you go. That's
Yes.
That's the best
Yes.
point right there.
And it will show you, you can break it down by department if you think you want to work in admin, maintenance, direct, consumer work,
IT, whatever.
IT, or if you have a division in mind, if you want to work in adult mental health, if you want to work with children, if you want to work in DS services, if you want to work as a case manager, if you think that, you know, if you're licensed and want to work as a mental health clinician, any of those things, you can break it down. If you have no idea, there is a drop down for all of our openings. If you want to work in admin, if you want to be a front office manager, you know,
Sure.
everything is there.
Yeah, and don't worry so much about your own resume and your own qualifications. Don't.
Yes.
I guess I'm saying, don't get too hung up on that.
No, we value experience. Some positions,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
of how our billing works, will require certain things. Others will not.
Right.
So don't pigeonhole yourself into thinking I'm only looking for this. Like, maybe look at that whole drop down thing. We also have internships available.
Mm-hmm.
We also often, when you speak about like where's the building,
Mm-hmm.
our buildings can look interesting. So we often have openings for home providers.
That's
Like
right.
some people need some place to live. And
Yeah.
so we contract for home providers
Yes.
for folks as well. So those are listed in our job openings
My
section.
gosh. Wow. And folks can volunteer too.
Yes, those spots tend to be limited, but we do have positions for volunteers.
All right.
Yep.
Keep going.
Yeah.
You're driving this morning.
So, and so let's move into our Wellness Wednesdays series because we are about to restart that.
Fantastic.
And we love our community offerings around here.
Yes, we do.
So Wellness Wednesdays are open to everybody. Everybody
Yes.
can just come in and enjoy our wellness.
You don't have to be an employee of Washington
You don't have
County.
to be an employee. You
You don't have
to
to
be,
receive service.
No.
You don't have to be
No.
anything.
We love our complimentary Wellness Wednesday. Just come be well with us. And it's a great way to start the new year. So on January 11th, we will restart Wellness Wednesdays at 23 Summer Street.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave this with you. You don't have to write anything down.
Okay, thank you.
I've
God, I
also
love-
emailed it to you
Ah,
with all of the active links that you can post.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So January 11th.
January 11th, 23 Summer Street here in Barrie from 4 to 7. It's the same deal as always with Wellness Wednesday. It costs nothing. And you can have ear acupuncture or pressure if you're not a needle fan. And they're teeny tiny baby little pins.
Balin's amazing.
You've had them.
Love
Yeah,
Balin.
Balin, Laura Cooley. Phil Wells is even certified to do that.
Yeah.
Sound healing, mindfulness meditation, massage, Reiki, the works.
Sound healing and,
Tea and snacks.
Reiki. This is huge.
It
This
is. It's
really
so healing, and people come together and they talk and they network, and it's another great way to just kind of end stigma. You know, people can have conversations in a relaxed, non-clinical environment where people say, you know, something might come up, and others will say, "I didn't know. Hi,
Yeah.
John." Good. How are you?
Yeah, you don't know until you experience these things,
Yes.
and then what that does is that gets people talking.
Yeah, it's a great way to just have a relaxed conversation and be like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool to just sit and talk about.
That's
It's
right.
okay. And as always, the Snoozlin Room, Imagination Station, will be open. So if you really need a half-hour massage and you're thinking, boy, my kiddo has nowhere to go. I wish I could take advantage of this, and I can't. You can. Your kid can come in and hang out in the Imagination Station for a half an hour and hang out in the ball pit or sit in the massage chair or just run around and bounce off the walls for 30 minutes. And I can go hang out with them while you go get a massage, because that's, why not?
That's
kid wellness.
That's a game.
That matters too.
Yeah, of course it does. And having a child is a game changer, especially if you're a single adult and you're running a crazy schedule. That's a game changer.
Yes.
That's a deciding factor of whether or not people are going to take advantage of this.
Right. And if you're not a single adult, both of you can get a massage and your kid can go bouncing around.
Yes.
You don't need a babysitter. Or you could both schedule at different times.
Right.
And one of you could go hang out if you're not comfortable leaving your kiddo with a wacky mom. That's okay too. No, I'm not going to be offended. I don't.
I think it's
it
wonderful.
Doesn't matter. And so the ear acupuncture is everybody can just walk in, and if the chairs are full, you wait a little bit and have some tea and snacks, and a chair will open up.
Right.
Everything else does require an appointment. And so you can call ahead, 479-4055, and make an appointment for any of these. And so it's a 6-week series. So if you call and there isn't one the first week, while you're on the phone, make one for another week.
Sure.
Because they don't last forever. So one thing I will say is that we would appreciate that if you're making appointments for these things, we would appreciate if people would try something, maybe try each thing twice in a series, so that people can all get in to try something.
Yeah, right.
So if you come in and you try massage, maybe do it twice that series, and then try something else twice that series. Because if I go in and I book massage for 6 weeks, that might be 4 people who don't ever get a massage.
That's right.
And we want everybody to try to come in and get a chance to do the things.
Yeah.
So we do have a couple of different people doing Reiki, a couple different people doing the massage, but still, let's try to all share space and give everybody a chance.
And the sound healing too. That's
I haven't tried that.
I want to try it.
Actually, I haven't done anything but the ears, but
because
it fills up.
For folks that may not be familiar with where 23 Summer Street is, it's real simple. You just come right through Barrie, right?
Yes.
Go right through the center of town, right past our studio, bang a left at
the library.
At the library.
In the Cornerstone.
In the Cornerstone restaurant.
Yes.
That's Elm Street.
Yep.
Go 150 yards, maybe not even, to the first light right there.
Take a left.
And that's Summer Street. Take a left, and 23 Summer Street is right there on the right.
You can't miss it. It's a big blue building with an Imagination Station banner on the very front corner.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're right behind you.
And a huge puzzle piece for the Autism Puzzle Foundation.
Yep. It's blue on the bottom half, brick on the top. You can't miss us. And we have a sandwich board out front on Wednesday nights with our poster on the front.
Starting at 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. 4 to 7.
Starting on January 11th.
January 11th.
Wow. That's coming up soon.
It is.
That's why you're here.
Yes, that's why.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Great. We have to get Balin and a couple of these clinicians
Right.
in here. Gotta happen.
So, and we do have all the same folks coming back this series, I believe. So that's exciting. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to throw in about this one. I'll think of it later, of course.
Okay. Sure.
I'll throw it in the comments.
Of course you can.
Next on my list is my family gathering place.
Yes.
So that is the third Thursday of every month.
Also at 23 Summer Street.
Also at 23 Summer Street. So we did not have a meeting in December. We were planning on that. It was, as you can see on our calendar here in the window.
Yep.
We did not have one because holidays. And we have one coming up on the 19th, which
Okay.
is the third Thursday of January, and that runs from 5 to 6:30
All right.
at 23 Summer Street, Well Space. And we have Chiefs Vale and Dodge coming
Oh, as
to
the
speak.
speakers. Great.
Yes, and so they're speaking about bullying, how to recognize the signs and what to do about it.
Yes, I see that on
So-
the schedule.
Yeah, so that one I think I'd like to see a lot of folks come to that maybe wouldn't find a lot of interest in a lot of our other topics. This
Yeah.
group is generally a group of folks that are coming with kids that have kind of intense special needs. And so we talk a lot about IEPs and Social Security and things like that. But with the recent climate in schools lately, and
Yeah.
not in schools, on bike paths, or just in town in general,
Yeah.
I would really recommend to the general community, any parents with kids, that if they're interested in hearing the chiefs talk about this topic,
Chief of Barry City, Chief of Barry Town.
yes. If you want to either attend in person or by Zoom, I would encourage you to do so.
We'll drop that link up also. That's
Yes.
right here in front of us.
So what they do during what they're planning for this meeting is a 30-minute presentation. And then after that, they will take questions, and then we'll have a general group conversation. So the in-person version, we get, and this is every meeting, we have pizza for Mr. Z's.
Thank you, Mr. Z.
All hail Mr. Z's.
Yeah.
And then
Free.
free.
Everything's
Oh,
free.
yes, it's free. But in order to feed the people, we need our SVPs.
Yes.
And you can drop that to Jessica Kell, and she is our Children's Division Manager at
Yes.
Washington County Mental Health.
That's
so it is,
Kell.
yes, JESSICA.KELL at WCMHS.org.
Yep. Or you can call.
Or you could call.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to put this phone number in the comments, but it's 636-7422.
Thank you. And just let her know how many folks are coming. Now, this is another opportunity to not worry about having to have a sitter.
Yeah, right.
But we also need a very tight RSVP number. So we can provide child oversight,
Yep.
also in the Imagination Station. But we can only do that if we know how many are coming,
Right.
because this is a volunteer-run situation.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, and it's the polite thing to do.
And I can only ensure that I have enough volunteers if I know how many kids are coming.
Yep. Okay.
So, and it's volunteer run by my kids
Sure.
and other Spalding kids that need graduation required community service.
Yeah.
And I only round them up if I know that kids are coming. So
Sure.
please let me know.
Please RSVP. What's the date on this this coming
This is January 19th,
all right, this
Thursday night,
that'll
5
be
to
the-
6:30.
All right, that's the third Thursday of the month.
Right. And then it's also, if you don't want to come in person or can't make it in person, it is also available by Zoom.
Okay.
And so we will have all of that, all of
Posted
this
up.
information actually, but all of that also on our website
All right.
and on our Facebook. So if you go to the Washington County website, we have an events calendar on our website. And so you can find all of the Wellness Wednesday, My Family Gathering Place, as well as every other group we hold or special event. They're all on the website under the events calendar.
Yep.
And so anything that has a Zoom event will have a link to that on there. So you can go to that. You can go to our Facebook page. It will all be listed there,
Okay.
which will all be shared with you. So you can do that too.
You
So-
do such a great job with that, by the way.
I try. Thank you. So yeah, the My Family Gathering Place bullying. I think it would be really great for people to understand, especially how to recognize the signs. is a big one. Like, how do you know this is happening? Especially if your kiddo is like, I don't want to tell people. I don't want to look weak. I don't want people to know this is happening. Like,
I don't want it to get worse.
I don't want it to get worse. And what to do about it? Like, what should you be doing?
Huge
What
issue.
can you be doing? What is the appropriate thing to be doing to make it stop that does not get somebody more hurt, doesn't land everybody in trouble, doesn't cause more problems? Yeah, let's talk about that.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm biting my tongue so hard this morning,
Yeah.
trying to not.
I'm not going to talk about what we used to do because I don't want to bring it up and give people ideas. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk
It's a
about
huge
what we
issue.
should be doing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a massive issue.
It is.
And I hope our chiefs are ready to hear from the public, because there's a lot to be said about
I
this.
hope the public is ready to listen to our chiefs,
This is true.
because I believe that they have
Well,
reasonable, rational, logical ideas and
Right.
suggestions.
And
And
there's-
I know that people are hot about it. I understand why people are hot about it. I hope that people are ready to hear.
right. The public
Yeah.
needs to know. They need to hear from the police. Yes, we are aware of it. Mm-hmm. And yes, we are attempting to combat it. And this is how specifically.
Right. And the point of this is to say, here's what to watch for, here's
Right.
how to deal with it.
That's right.
And this is not a come in and tell us what you're doing situation. This
Yes.
is a here's
Telltales.
here's what you can
Yeah,
notice, and here's what you should
Sure.
maybe do about that.
true.
Yeah. Here are the steps you can take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hopefully we can stay on track with that.
Yes, we will.
We will.
They'll make sure. You'll make sure.
Oh, honey. Yes, I will. Unless so many kids come that I need to go help there. But I can pop
This is
back
true.
in. So, all right.
right.
Up next, we're going to talk about the Vermont Care Partners.
Okay.
So, the Vermont Care Partners is a statewide network. I have to read this one or I'll bumble it. Vermont Care Partners is a statewide network of 16 nonprofit, community-based agencies providing mental health, substance abuse, and intellectual and developmental disability services and supports.
Okay.
We are, Washington County Mental Health Services, one of those nonprofit, community-based agencies.
Interesting.
And as a part of that group, in doing PR for that group, we all write an article during the first quarter of the year that lands in VT Digger to highlight something going on in our community, something that is a piece of something important to the community,
Okay.
something that people maybe already know about but need more information on, something they should know about, something just highlighting issues that need to be pushed more.
Right.
Maybe people don't know enough about, need more information on, whatever. Washington County Mental Health is writing the first, they call it the sponsor spotlight
Okay.
in VT Digger. And we are writing the first issue in January, the first article for that. And so we are concentrating on wellness in the new year. And so my point in talking about this, also Julie Tesler, who I brought up earlier, she is the executive director of the Vermont Care Partners.
Okay.
So my point in bringing this up is that we really are hoping that people who follow Vermont VT Digger are going to be paying attention to all of these articles statewide, because every one of these agencies is bringing up a topic that is very important to everybody. Mental health, obviously, mental health matters.
Yes.
Like
it
the new
does.
shirt?
I love it. Where do we get those, by the way?
Oh, well, I'll come back to that in one second.
And how much and all that?
I'll come right back to that. So every article that is on that lineup is a very extremely important article.
Okay.
There is not one single topic in there that is not pointed at something that is really going to affect somebody in the mental health world. So I just really want to point out that everybody should be watching for those sponsor spotlight articles, and we will be sharing all of them
Yeah.
on our site, and I can share all of them to your page.
You'll make sure that
Yes.
we get them,
Yes.
all of them,
And so-
not just the ones.
No, I'm
you've
going to
written.
send all of them to you.
Okay.
Because I want people paying attention to them, because they're going to, and even if one agency highlights something that their agency is doing, that doesn't mean that it's not something that will, it's something that will pertain to everybody. So even if one agency is doing something specific, like we have Wellness Wednesday, that doesn't mean there aren't wellness options in someone else's community too. So hopefully it will be triggering people to look for the same opportunities where they are. So I just wanted to bring that up, keep it on your radar. Everybody be looking for those articles, look for those opportunities in your community as well.
When's the first one getting published?
January 17th.
January 17th. All right. And I think you've already said that, but
I didn't.
and you haven't. All right. And you wrote that.
I'm working on it. Yep.
Right.
We're in the editing stage right now.
Okay. And you've written it a couple of times.
I have. I have written it a couple of times because the Ether ate the first one. Like I said, marshmallow up here right now. So
Wow.
this is why we're sticking to the script, buddy.
Woo. Ether's hungry.
I'm not too big to admit it. It's okay.
What else do you have?
So my last thing on this list, and then we'll get to the shirt, is Mental Health Advocacy Day is coming up. And yeah, so that's a big one. So that's why we're winding out with this one. So January 30th is Mental Health Advocacy Day, and it is virtual this year. So literally everybody can attend, unless you're in some really big meeting from 10 to 2. So it is, mental health starts with youth. Y-O-U is capital in this title. So let's be the generation that replaces mental health stigma with mental health support. I just love that.
Yeah.
So
My God, we're all, or at least we all should be advocates for
I agree.
mental health.
I agree.
No matter who you are.
Yes. I'm probably going to hopefully not butcher her name, but this year's keynote speaker is Alexina Federin, Miss Vermont 2022.
Okay.
And in the afternoon, people will be sharing stories of hope and recovery and provide testimony at key legislative committees. So I have emailed you all of the links to register for it. There will be a youth advocacy award. People can share stories. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So there's
And
an
this is
opportunity to register, an opportunity to participate, all kinds of things going on.
This is the 30th.
This is the 30th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Mostly, I'm gathering here in Montpelier.
Yeah, it all happens at the State House, but it's virtual.
Okay. All right.
There will be people in person testifying.
What's your day looking like that day?
It's looking like I'll be virtually attending.
Okay. All right. Would love to have you
So-
on the air, maybe. Either.
Yeah, well, it doesn't start until 10.
All right.
So I can be in before that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be great if
Yep,
we could.
certainly. Yeah, so excited for that.
I'm
We'll be pushing a lot of that, and I'll push it towards you too, doing lots of reminders ahead of time and things.
I hope that mental health is being spoken of more frequently in our Vermont legislature. I know David Zuckerman is scheduled to be sworn in for his second stint as lieutenant governor at 11:30 this morning in Senate chambers. I just they've got to be talking about this stuff more.
Oh, they are, and Topper's a great advocate in there for us, and we've got lots of folks in there.
How's Phil Scott doing when it comes to embracing mental health?
I wish I was better at knowing all of the things.
Yeah.
I'm good at a lot of things, JD, but I'm not good at everything.
Yeah. I
can't fake it.
There's well, there's just a lot going on. I mean, he's going to be delivering his inaugural address, I think, this afternoon around 2:00. Mm-hmm. I hope that mental health is part of that.
I hope so. Yeah.
What else do we have? Anything?
T-shirt.
Yes.
We're down to the T-shirt now. That wasn't on my list, but
tell me about that.
So, one of our Barry gals, she's off in another state now, but Honey Walters,
okay,
another autism mom, actually, she has a niece with her own company. It's called M & West Vinyl Company.
Yeah.
And they're in New Hampshire, and they make shirts and all kinds of other goodies. But she made this. Isn't it beautiful?
It's amazing.
I know.
So she's obviously selling these,
So,
I guess.
yeah, you can go to M & West Vinyl Company online. Well, she's only on Facebook right now.
All right.
Actually, she had a website. I think they're redesigning it. But, yeah, so M & West Vinyl Co. on Facebook.
You're going to get me the link on this so we
yes,
can drop that
I will
up
drop
here
that
too?
in there, too. I don't even have my phone with me today.
Freaking
so
awesome.
when I get
love it.
back to wherever it is I left it, I will.
It's great.
I'll drop that on there too.
Please do.
In the comments.
Please do.
Yeah.
We're always, you know this. I mean, we're always ready for you.
Yeah.
No matter what you guys have going on.
With so much going on.
There's a ton happening.
Yeah. That's why I have to make a list big enough to read.
Again, please, for either Wellness Wednesday or my family gathering place every third Thursday, which we've talked about this morning. Please RSVP.
Yes. Well, so Wellness Wednesday, you can walk in for the ears, but definitely call to make an appointment for everything else.
Anything else.
Right. But my family gathering place, if you're coming in person, we need the RSVP to make sure that we can feed you and provide oversight for your kiddos.
And that's, and Raylene posted it up, jessica.kell@wcmhs.org.
Thank
to
you,
RSVP
Raylene.
for that.
Yes.
And for other RSVPs for Wellness Wednesday, what's the best way to do that?
479-4055.
All right. I'm putting that in here.
Thank
479
4055.
4055.
Yep.
And that's 23 Summer Street right
yes.
there. All right. This Wellness Wednesday is you know.
Yeah.
It's just taken off.
It's so great. And that was the other thing I was trying to remember. So the way that we can offer that at no cost to the community, to consumers, to staff, is because we have the folks that are on the part of the Wellness Collaborative, and the WellSpace Wellness folks are so great at writing grants, especially Maria Dehane.
Oh my God, I know.
And so Northfield, is it Northfield? National Life? National Life. And Hickok and Boardman. And there's another one that I am blanking on in this second, which is really unfortunate. But I'll post it in there.
They're taking a huge bite out of this.
They've been, the donations, the grants that they're coming up with are just phenomenal. And so this is not money that's coming out of like state funding. It's not coming from Medicaid. We're not taking money out of services to provide this. This is all grant funded.
Make sure
it's
somehow.
See what happens when I don't write it down?
Well, seriously, I mean this. Make sure someone, Mary Moulton, someone should make sure that Zuckerman and Phil Scott know about this.
Oh, yeah. We've been making sure everybody knows that this is grant funded and not.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Not a penny is coming from services or anything else.
Yeah. That not only do they know about this, but they know not that you're kicking ass, because I think they know that, but more specifically how much you guys are kicking ass.
Yeah, we're keeping the data. We're writing. Everybody is keeping track of who's coming in, what service is being used.
There's so
everything.
much. There's so much.
Yep. There is
5,000 plus Vermonters a year.
Yeah.
And how many counties is Washington County Mental Health covering?
Well, I mean, technically we're supposed to be covering Washington County.
Yeah.
But we do have some folks outside of our normal catchment area that, yeah.
It's a lot of people.
It is a lot of people.
And it's the staff and the team that makes up Washington County Mental Health is amazing. They're all different departments. They're all like the inside of a clock.
Yes.
They're all working in conjunction with each other.
Yes. Yeah, it
really is a fine-tuned machine.
All has to be.
All of you.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd love to get Mary in here sometime.
Yeah, so I'm working on a calendar of getting Mary in here.
Levin.
Bringing, yes, all of our program managers, all of our division directors. So I'm trying to work out a calendar so that we can have a regularly rotating schedule to highlight several things.
I know Mary's,
even our trainer.
Mary's not going to be afraid of these microphones.
No, she can't wait to get in here. It's a busy time.
Levin might be a little bit.
Levin's great.
But we'll loosen him up.
Levin is great.
He's freezing his butt off right now. You know
Poor
that.
Dude.
I know.
And I gotta say, I saw Levin yesterday, and somehow I kept myself under control because not only did Bama win the Cotton Bowl,
I know,
Pats beat the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And I didn't say a word about either one to his face.
Did he look a little tired?
I didn't look that hard.
All right. I can't wait to have that guy in there.
We won't talk about football, though.
Right.
Trying to be kind.
5:30 tonight, Aldrich Library. They've got the Quarry Project film that's going to be shown.
That's right around the corner from my house.
Yeah.
Not the library, but the quarry.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So if you, and I saw a little trailer on this thing. I'd love to get there, but who knows? But it's tonight, 5:30 to 7:30 at the Aldrich Library. The Quarry Project, the film, amazing performances. If you can't make tonight, looks like the next, and it's going to be all over the state, but the next one that is going to be close is in Montpelier at the Savoy Theater on January 18th. Then at the Media Factory in Burlington on the 24th. Northfield on the 26th, and East Montpelier at Fox Market at the very end of the month on Saturday, January 28th. But do catch it. Also, just a quick note here, the Lonnie Wade Fishing Derby is on February 18th. It's the pre-registration at the pub at 6 p.m. They're going to be selling sweatshirts and T-shirts and lots of different swag. You can also register at Fogg's, Washington Village Store, and R&L Archery. The main event is going to be on Lake Maury Saturday, March 4th from midnight until 6 p.m. Then they're going to wrap everything up at the Canadian Club on March 11th with the awards ceremony and silent auction items, live music, dinner. It is going to be an amazing evening. But Raylene's been posting about it. The pub has been posting about it, and we want to make sure that we're talking about it as much as possible. And we will have folks from the Lonnie Wade Fishing Derby on the air with us as we have every year, and we look forward to it. So,
are we assuming that's a fishing derby and not an ice fishing derby this year?
It's an ice. Did I forget to say the word ice?
I just am assuming that maybe there won't be. You didn't say ice, so I'm thinking maybe there isn't ice.
Listen,
it's mud. It's first mud season already, so I don't know if there's going to be any ice. What do you think?
There may be some boats.
Yeah.
That are out on Lake Maury.
That makes more sense this year, I think.
Roll out in a boat, cut your hole if you can find any ice.
It kind of feels like turkey season out there today.
I know.
Easter eggs, turkey season.
I'm so glad you came in. When are we doing this again? When you tell me. You tell me.
I mean,
we always want to have you in
definitely before Mental Health Advocacy Day. So somewhere between here and there.
Good.
And then on that day, obviously. So.
All right.
Maybe I'll see you in about 2 weeks.
You got it.
Okay.
We're going to have a fantastic Wellness Wednesday.
Yes.
What are we running, 6 weeks again?
Yes, we're running 6 weeks again.
All right. It's going to be fantastic.
It is. You're going to come over?
Of course I'm going to come
Call
over.
and book some stuff.
Yep, I'm going to be...
Bring the girls.
Balin's going to be the matador. I'm going to be walking around like a bull. I'm going to have all of the things, spikes hanging out of me.
Maybe don't walk too far because I don't want them jumping out of your ears.
Well, you just follow the trail of blood.
Oh, and the other thing. Yes. No, they're not. There's no blood. Good grief. So, one other thing I should mention about the great thing that has come out of this is that when we started reaching out to folks to have outside practitioners come in to do Wellness Wednesday stuff, some of those now hold office space at 23 Summer Street.
Wow.
And they're not only able to, thanks to our wellness collaborative, not only able to offer discounts to staff, but they're able to take appointments for outside people. So anybody, you don't have to work for us, you don't have to be a client. If people want to make an acupuncture appointment or any other appointment with Balin, because he does do other things, you can see them at Summer Street.
So cool.
It is. And so
cool.
Come into Wellness Wednesday and meet these folks and find out how to get appointments for a massage or for whatever.
I need to get over there with you just inside the snoozling room just to do just a quick thing about the Imagination Station snoozling room.
Yeah, you
alone, just by itself, without anything else.
Yes.
We have to get on and talk about that.
Is this a ploy to sit in the chair? It's okay if it is.
I might be.
That's okay.
I might be.
That's okay. You know how to book it. You're trained. You're all trained now. You know how to use the room.
It is absolutely incredible. I cannot say enough great things about the snoozling room and everything that's...
Me either. And we're coming up on our 7th anniversary.
Isn't that incredible?
And I still am just like in love with it.
It's just we're so lucky. We're so lucky. Again, if you want to get on the Washington County Mental Health website, click on careers. They are hiring. Hiring very well, doing well. There's been an uptick in it.
We're closing gaps, but keep them coming.
Start right now to think about your summertime. Plan now. What do you want to be doing during your spring and summer? How much of an impact do you want to have on your local community and helping others that so desperately need it in so many different ways? You can't put anything in a basket or box here. It's WCMHS.org.
Yes.
That's the site. Click on careers. Promise me you're going to get Mary Moulton in here.
I am.
All right.
Yes.
Talk to you soon. Thank you. God bless. Thanks, Heather.